Welcome back to Etheria Restart. Today I'm here with Hermes and we're going to be talking about why he is choosing to start out a brand new account inside of Etheria Restart today as global launch has happened inside of the game. Now before I go any further, if you haven't played yet and you're considering checking out a nice turn-based strategy game, the QR code right here will get you the game for free with 10 free summons, as well as the link in the description. A great opportunity for you to get in on day one and pull a ton of Animus. In addition to that, I need to thank Etheria Restart for sponsoring today's video. In the background, we're just running some Aurora, but it's really about the discussion between Hermes and I on why now is a great time to start fresh if you have an account already, or if you don't, why you should be playing Etheria Restart now. So Hermes, man, I know that you have your main account and you decide to start a new one, and I'm running my main account. Why start fresh, man? Like, what's so great about the new player rewards right now that you want to go and dive in fresh?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is honestly that Quantum Selector. Having a guaranteed LD unit is just crazy. I mean, having one just off the bat, at the beginning of the game, getting one in is just really, really cool. And I think it's honestly an awesome reward for them to give all the players. Someone like me, like the reason why I wouldn't have wanted to start a new account before was because one, like my account is a lot of like the OP champions, right? So, or Animus, whatever you want to call them. And so it kind of makes it a little bit easier when you get at least one to kind of go in and be like, all right, I'm going to go make this a lot easier of a fight because I have at least one super good LD unit. And obviously, my choice, depending on how my summons go over the next couple days, is going to end up being Lily because, it's Lily,
yeah.
Right, guys? Like, come on, like this was not hard to figure out. And then just having that, and then the possibility of getting Yelly would be really cool. I don't know, since it is going to be a free-to-play account. I'm not, looking to spend money on a side account, especially, just to kind of show people all the stuff you can get completely free-to-play, as long as you're, like, grinding and trying to min-max stuff. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what I can get. As a quick spoiler, I'm sure we'll talk about this more in the future, but like I've already done like 100 summons and I played for maybe 45, 50 minutes today.
Wow.
And I already got like 100 summons. I think I've gotten 3 SSRs that I've pulled, 4 in total, including Leanne. And so it's crazy like how much stuff I've already got on my account, and I'm barely scratched the surface of playing.
I mean, we even saw the same thing because all of my poll videos, I think you were part of on the channel, and for an account that's what 4 or 5 months old, which is the one that we're watching right now, we've got so much unlocked on it, and it's even easier to unlock Animus right now inside of the game. So when you compare this to some of its competitors, I'm not going to mention specific names, but games that have hundreds of champions, you're sitting on those games and you have a fraction of the amount of champions that are available. But here in Etheria Restart, you actually can have, a good roster right off the bat. Now, partially that's because it's a newer game and there's less Animus, but also it's how gracious they are with the pity system and how you can actually target the Animus you're looking to get. So also super excited to hear about that, that you're starting the new account because of that light dark opportunity.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see, just because like you were talking about your account, like your account has a crazy, I think you are only missing, I mean, you're missing all of the light units, which I thought was really funny. Yeah. You have all the dark ones, you have none of the light units, and so obviously whenever you get your Quantum Selector, you'll probably end up using it to get one of those light units.
Yeah.
But as far as like the RGB units, you have basically every single one. And so it's like, you're only 4 or 5 months in. Well, I think it's almost 5 months now into this account, and you've basically got everything. Not everything is max, but you've got all the Animus, so you're just waiting that on the lattice, and hopefully they are going to start implementing some better ways to get more lattice. I think that's really what's going to be it's been and will continue to be the choke point for people. I think they're giving us one free one for logging in, but I'm hoping that we start getting and seeing some more opportunities to get even more, because I think just one isn't really going to cut it with all the different Animus you've got to really lattice up to make them more valuable.
Yeah, I mean, this is something you said for a while, that one of the pain points is gearing, right? Is gearing the Animus and being able to level the Animus and all of that. So although it's easy for us to pick up those Animus, getting them where they need to be, top tier is more of a pain point and something that, we'd love to see addressed in the future. But as we know, the devs are on top of things and they know what the community wants and they do listen. So hopefully some of that stuff does come. So tell me a little bit about the experience. All right. So 5 months ago you started playing, fell in love with Etheria Restart, basically became an expert in the game and are now in all of my videos. But how was the experience going back and starting over? Was it as exciting and fun as it was the first time around? Was it a lot easier because you now have such a better understanding for the game? Just kind of fill me in on what it was like to restart, and would you recommend anyone else restart?
Honestly, I think it so far has been really enjoyable for me. I think it gives you a lot of PvE challenges to accomplish and kind of hit, and then it also gives a little bit of that adrenaline back. Like I am not as much like I'm not like a crazy like gotcha game kind of guy where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna spend my entire life savings on pulls, but
Yeah.
like I love the feeling of getting new animus. And where my count was, there just really wasn't a whole lot for me to pull. So having to be able to go back and be like, all right, I get to just basically pull a bunch of pulls, and basically anything gold is going to help me, other than like one or two animus. It's really, really exciting to be able to go back. And honestly, the way that they've made the beginning of the game makes it so easy to progress through. You can skip all the cutscenes if you really want to. So like the first time through, I kind of paid attention to more of that stuff. But basically, I've just been able like the introduction and like the tutorial stuff. I've basically just skipped through. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of games where you can't really skip through the introduction stuff, and that's why like it's deterred me from being able to go back and playing again. Whereas with the theory, it's kind of like, yeah, just skip that. I'll skip that. I'll go do one little battle here. All right, I know the game mechanics, so I'm gonna skip this, and it just makes it really easy to kind of go back. And then since I already have that knowledge of what I'm gonna do, it makes it a lot easier also then to plan out my teams, where I'm gonna summon, when I'm gonna summon, and then what areas of content to focus on to really progress my account and get myself up really high, really fast in all this PvE content to start being able to take down PvP.
That really is a great point, because I can't stand having, when you want to play on a second account, you have to go through all that dialogue again. So it's nice that you're not forced to be, painfully dragged through that again in Etheria Restart. You experience it once. You don't need to do it again if you already have an account. So good call right there as well. My question is, are you going to re-roll accounts? I know that, a lot of people are doing the re-rolling. I actually saw some streamers right now on Twitch that are like doing re-rolls again because it's a global thing. Are you a re-roll guy, being that you're going to be on a free-to-play, or are you just going with your new account and you get what you get?
Honestly, I kind of thought about it and considered it, but spoiler alert for my account, within the first like 30 summons, I pulled Messiah as an LD
Oh my
damage dealer.
god. Really?
And so between having him and then also I'm gonna get Lily for my Quantum Selector, I was kind of like, I'm okay. Like, but again, it's like that time versus value like trade-off, right? Like you have two options, right? You either take the time to re-roll, and you might be able to get more value early on, and that catches you up, or day one you're just playing one account and going forward. And so because of pulling him and some of the other, I've already got pulled a Freya. Unfortunately, I also pulled a Lingluo, which you get on day 7. So she's just a dupe, which is unfortunate. But I've already got basically an entire solid team minus a debuffer, which hopefully I'll pull. I mean, I would love to pull a Plume, but a Kloss even would be good early on. Honestly, this account is exactly where I want it to be, because if needed, I can just go from there.
I mean, I don't even have Messiah on my account, man. So that's a great pull right there. I'm a little jealous of that one.
Yeah, I'm excited to try him out and use him and just to kind of see how good he is in some of this content. I think he's going to be really, really fun to play around with.
I think so as well. You could prepare, become an expert with him, so when I finally get that pull on my account, you can give me some solid guidance, man.
Exactly.
I think that's going to be the key. All right, dude. Anything else you want to share about, the new player experience and all that? I honestly think re-rolling is kind of going to start taking a little bit more of a back seat, because you're getting that guaranteed pull. I guess, I don't know. You would think players would stop with the crazy re-rolling accounts, like re-rolling 50 accounts, and just, because they get that nice, you're going to get Lily no matter what.
Yeah, and maybe they will, but the problem is that some people are going to go, okay, I've got Lily, so now because of Plume's just new introduction, they're going to go, well, I've got Lily now, guaranteed. So I'm going to go for Yelly and Plume, and then because if you get Yelly, Plume, and Lily, And then because Freya's on the banner at the beginning of the game, you're basically between those four animus, you're taking down the entire game pretty much just fine.
Yeah.
Um, and Freya's only really there to be an attack buffer. So basically, you get an attack buffer. So the number one would be Nymphono, I think is her name. So people will start looking. Okay, if you can pull Plume, Yelly, or Lillian, but probably preferably Yelly, and then the Nymphono, however you say her name,
Yep.
you basically, and then you get Lily off the selector. You've just won the game. I mean, like there is, like you will not really struggle with any PvE content because you're going to get Lingluo on day 7. Sanya, Green Sanya is a SR. And basically that will take care of all PvE content, and then you're starting to build for PvP, and then you can use your 40 summon guarantee on a PvP champion and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see if people try to do that. But honestly, for me, I'm kind of like, nah, I'd rather just, play, especially now I got a Messiah on my account. I've never been able to play around with him, so hopefully get him upgraded soon and, really start to be able to use him in valuable spots across the game.
Definitely a good position, man. At the end of the day, I just wanted you to kind of speak on what it's like starting a new account, taking us back into that new player experience, being someone that's basically gotten to end game on your main account. Is it fun to go back? And you came through with the answer that, yeah, you're still enjoying it, and it's nice that you can cut through some of that stuff that you don't need to, take all that time to complete. But really excited for you in that account. Masai, man, that's a great pull. Masai and Lily guaranteed on that one, so really solid. Appreciate you coming through, dude. Thank you so much. Again, thanks to Etheria Restart for sponsoring this video. And if you haven't played the game, QR code right here. Download in the description. See you guys in the next video.